What's up, heathens? How ya doing? Tonight we have a random person on the internet claiming that they don't believe that atheists exist, and so we have to prove our existence to them. I'm thinking that this comes from the whole idea in the Bible where it says that we've all been shown the glory of God, or well, I guess technically God's glory. That's what he names his dick in the Bible. In any case, apparently God's shown it to us, and so therefore we have to believe in it and suck it at the same time. So we're going to be looking at this guy and his arguments for atheists not existing or something like that. Anyways, we'll get into it, and if you're interested in this, then please stay tuned.
My take on atheism is, so what?
My take on atheism is, so what, motherfucker? I don't care. I'm fine with that. I don't care if people care about atheism. Normally, what I do is I rail against those who speak out against atheism. So that's what my channel is analyzing creationists and apologists' claims against evolution and atheism and religion in general.
You don't believe in God? That's your business. Why should that bother me?
True. I don't think it should bother anybody. I don't think that my atheism really needs to affect anybody else. The problem is that normally it's Christians that are the ones that have a problem with atheists being an atheist. So I'm questioning this entire video here.
You don't cash your check? That's your business.
I mean, I know I make money from doing YouTube videos, but I mean, I don't do it for the atheism. So I don't know what he means by cash or check. I guess he just means do it.
Now, for the people that don't understand how it's that easy, let me break it down to why it's that. First of all, I don't believe in Easter Bunny. Don't believe in Santa Claus. Don't believe in the Tooth Fairy. And I don't feel the need to tell y'all about that, right? So from the beginning, not believing in God, that's your business. Now, the part that identify who you are is you saying it out amongst everybody else. That's like white people not liking blacks. And that's okay. You don't have to like blacks. But to the point of where you would leave a noose out to let blacks that you don't know them, let blacks know that you don't like them. That's taking it to the extreme. That's telling them you bothered. There's something wrong with you. Now, not to believe in God is okay. That's your business. But to give it a name, that's like hitting a dislike button.
Oh, shit. And labeling atheism as atheism is like hitting a dislike button, but it's also just like leaving out a noose for a black person. This is fucking ridiculous. I feel like you're comparing like this savage kind of racism or racism in general to atheism. And it's like, what the fuck?
You gotta go out your way not to like something. Just don't be bothered with it. So,
well, I mean, I don't have to go out of my way not to like something. I don't go out of my way not to like Voldemort or not to like any of the religions that are out there. I don't go out of my way. I just hear it. I think it's dumb as fuck, and then I just don't like it. I mean, I don't like what Christians do. So I guess it's not necessarily that I don't like the religion, it's that I don't like the actions of its adherents.
For me, it's easy to rip atheists apart. It's coming from two places. One, it's a control mechanism. And then it's an insecurity issue for a person that think they really intelligent. See, they can't explain the Bible. They won't take the time, because it's a little different than just talking about Kemet, some shit on the walls and some pyramids and stuff that you can't bog down. So you could go on and on forever in those kind of conversations.
Oh, wait. So, I know Egypt is in the Bible, but the pyramids really don't play a massive role in the Bible. I can't think of any certain time where the Bible actually mentions the pyramids. So I don't know what he means here. I also don't know what he means by the idea that atheists can't explain the Bible. We can explain the Bible. In fact, that's the reason why we are atheists, is because we come to understand the Bible, how it was written, and all of that. I don't know why he thinks that we can't explain the Bible and that it's some kind of like control reaction because we can't explain the Bible. I don't know. Anyways, Exodus 21:20 says, "This X-Jan deliberately sins. Do not cut your bodies for the dead or put tattoo marks on yourselves. I am the Lord." Yeah. There's plenty of progressive Christians out there now that they do away with that, and they have multiple reasons as to why they're okay with getting getting a tattoo. Basically, it's just because that they see those particular laws being written for the Israelite people at a very specific time in history, and therefore they are no longer applicable because they are under the new covenant with Jesus Christ. And they think that that just washes away all of the old laws, even though Jesus specifically says in the New Testament that he's not come to erase the laws or make the old laws go away, but he's there to fulfill things from the Old Testament. So I don't know. It's kind of a confusing apologetic, but I don't focus too much on the whole tattoo thing.
Most intellectual types or pseudo-intellectual types, they want talk to be like numbers, infinity, right? They think they could just go on and on and on and on with words. You can't. Words are finite, numbers are not. So at one point, you're going to start lying and reasoning past law. So we can't deal with that, right?
I don't know what he means by we just want to go on and on and on and on and on like numbers. Like you could literally go on and on and on and on and on without lying whatsoever. Granted, you'll probably repeat a lot of the same information, but then again, you repeat numbers too whenever you go on and on and on and on and on like that. I'm failing to grasp the entire point of this conversation here, other than the fact that he thinks that he can destroy atheists easily, and he thinks that he can do that because it's like a intellectual control mechanism for atheists to be atheists, and then apparently labeling atheism as atheism is somehow wrong for some reason. It's wrong like racism is wrong. I'm not exactly sure.
What I do with the scriptures, I'm going to be right or wrong based on what it is, and I'll stand on that as a man. These fake dudes, they don't want to be in a point where something can be explained to a T, and the crazy shit is they don't believe in the Bible because they can't see God or you can't explain it to a T, but they get other things. They get Kundalini energy. They get Anunnaki. All this shit they get. All this, woo! They study in astrology, the stars, and all that shit. But the Bible is the one book that's fucked up because they say it.
Well, no, I mean, it's not because we are saying it's fucked up. I mean, it's because the words that are actually on the page are pretty fucked up. The entire context of the Old Testament is fucked up. Like, you don't have to be some kind of master linguist or master apologist or a pastor or preacher or a priest in order to just read the words that are on the page, right? In order to know about the cultural context surrounding the Old Testament, all of those books, in order to know who actually wrote the Pentateuch, the first 5 books of the Bible, I would say that you probably need a little bit of scholarly reading under your belt, but you don't necessarily need to be a scholar or anything like that. So I'm still failing to understand the point that you're trying to get across.
You know what I'm saying? It's this easy to me. Like, I don't think anybody more intellectual than I am.
Honey, he just said, I can't think of anybody that's more intellectual than I am. You are the pinnacle of intellectual people. That's obviously the case right here. You are the pinnacle of intellectuality.
And I'm in the scriptures. I could be in Kemet. I could be in Egypt, all that shit, trying to sound pseudo-intellectual, looking at the walls and all that shit. And then our people stay the same way we are, not moving one bit. So it's cute. Talking about you don't believe in God and all that, sitting in one spot, just jostling information. That's all those types do, just juggle information.
So now you're comparing, like, dishing out little facts about the Bible and little facts about what atheists would rattle off on social media and whatnot. You're comparing that to just juggling like we're just juggling shit, and you're trying to make it out like every atheist acts like they have taken personal trips to Egypt to study Kemet and shit like that. I still don't understand why you think this proves that, like, atheists don't exist. Like, he's saying that I don't believe in atheists. Prove they exist is what he's asking people to do. So let's see if he gets to his point.
They don't sit down on anything. It's easy to say, I don't believe in God. That's easy. Easy. Real easy.
I agree that it's easy to say it, but in reality, people that have come to not believe in God generally seem to struggle with that, at least for the majority of people, I would say, because, majority of people have grown up being religious, and so struggling to figure out what you actually believe is not such an easy thing. Plus, it's not so much of an easy thing to admit that you're an atheist and to deal with the fallout from that. I know personally how hard it is, because that was the biggest hurdle for me, was admitting that I was an atheist, coming to terms with the fact that I didn't believe in this God that I had lived my entire life believing in. So, you acting like it's easy to just come to this non-belief in a deity, it's not exactly all that easy.
That ain't complicated. The same way what they talking about. Shit that you can never check. They worship pagan gods, homosexual gods, and they push that shit off on you like that's regular. The thing about the Bible is, it's regular. It's for regular people. You ain't gotta be this, you ain't gotta be that.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. You don't have to be some intellectual person in order to just read the words on the page. But the words on the page are bad enough that it'll make you an atheist if you actually read them and try to understand what the words say and what that means that God makes people do. Like if you just take the favorite passage that I like going to right now is Numbers 31, 17 through 18. That has God commanding the Israelites to go into a town of the Midianites, kill them all, including the small children, all the small boys, all of the guys in general, all of the women that have known a dick, and then all of the girls that have not had dick, they get to take for themselves as spoils of war so that they can place into sexual slavery for themselves. This is the character of God, or one aspect of the character of God in the Old Testament, and you can't separate that particular character from the character of the New Testament. All I have to do is read the words on the page, and that's proof enough that I don't want to worship this God.
There's laws in there for regular people, but you atheists. Okay, don't believe. Who told you had to believe in God?
Every fucking Christian that I've ever talked to, every single one has told me that I should believe in God, or that I need to believe in God. There are entire sects of Christians now that spend all of their time on the fucking streets telling everybody how they're gonna burn in hell if they don't believe in their particular deity. So you asking this is quite confusing, considering Christianity is based on you telling other people that they need to believe in him.
My issues is why'd you have to have a group with a name on it for that? You know what I'm saying? Just don't believe. That's your business. Unless it's a club, y'all got a church, a Atheist Bible. That's something different. Y'all march, y'all go out. What y'all do? Go out not believing on people?
Do you think that atheism is a religion? Is that your misconception here, that you think atheism is a religion? Because atheism is not a religion. You can have a label for something and it's not some kind of organized group, like NASCAR driver or something like that. I don't know. They're a group of people, but it's not like they have a NASCAR Bible. I'm sure that there's some book out there called the NASCAR Bible, but in the same vein that he's talking about an Atheist Bible or something like that. There are several groups out there American Atheists. I'm sure they have some kind of code of conduct that David Silverman should have read. It's very group specific, but labels in general don't have to be associated with a specific group, right?
Well, what y'all get people to tell y'all stories and then say we don't believe stories of God? Y'all go out tormenting Christians and shit.
How are we tormenting Christians? Honey, do we torment Christians?
Maybe some may see it that way because they don't like what we do, but in general, no. We have friends who are Christian.
Yeah, So we've got a friend, Megan, over on Digital Hammurabi. She's a Christian. We're friends with her. I'm pretty good acquaintances with Braxton Hunter. We talk friendly all the time. So I don't feel like I'm harassing anybody in the videos that I make. Oh, I am, honey. Thank you. Next Friday, I'm actually teaching a Bible class, not about the Bible, but I'm teaching them about why I don't accept creationism and I don't accept their particular God. I'm just doing kind of a lecture lecture, and then it's got a Q&A at the end, right? So it's at a Christian school. So, I mean, I'm perfectly fine with Christians. I don't berate Christians. Generally, when I react to a Christian, I react due to what they say to me or what they claim, right? I prove them wrong. I critically analyze their arguments. So I don't know why he sees critical analysis as like an attack. It's not like we go into people's churches, put our feet up on the pews, and it's like, y'all know what? God don't exist. Y'all just need to get the fuck on home, okay? Oh, yeah. We went and saw Greg Locke talk when he was down here in Alabama before we found out he was a total dipshit and a horrible person. We actually went and saw him in a church. We didn't burst into flames. We didn't come in. We were normal fucking people.
Asking them about God, then when they tell y'all the story, y'all say y'all don't believe him. See, things like that, those old days, all that shit's coming to a halt. Just like this thing with Christianity, that BS.
I'm sorry, but is it really Christian to do drugs while you're talking about Christ and your God? He just pulled out this big old bong, honey. Like, should you really be chastising atheists for anything when you're sitting there being like, y'all need to suck that Jesus dick while I hit this bong?
All the opposers of God are starting to slow down. You can see the folly in it. That might have took ground when you could antagonize people, but I put everything on the couch. Like the psychiatrist. Anything talking about God, I put it on the couch and compare it to God. And it's easy. We know God from the scriptures, from his law, no matter what you say and not like it. It's about righteousness. Not killing, not stealing, not bearing false witness, not lying. Treating people decent. That's what's in the Bible.
Actually, that is in the Bible, but that's also not what is all in the Bible. I mean, you're chastising me and other atheists for not knowing the Bible, and then you rattle off the simplest description of what's in the Bible. I mean, that's not even all of the 10 Commandments. For one thing, there were several versions of the 10 Commandments, but the ones that people, know as the 10 Commandments, the first 4 are pretty much sucking God's dick. The first 4 are just talking about, respecting God and don't take God's name in vain and remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. So there's 4. And then you've got honor thy mother, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, shalt not steal, bear false witness, and covet thy neighbor's goods. So the first 4 things on God's big no-no list is, hey, don't forget to suck my dick. Don't take any pictures of you sucking my dick. Don't say my name while you suck my dick. And then remember the day that you got to suck my dick. Okay? Those are the first 4 10 Commandments.
And that's what y'all tell people you don't believe in. All those stories in the Bible?
Well, no. Remember, he listed off like don't steal, don't all the rest of the 10 Commandments is pretty much what he listed off, right? And he's like, y'all gonna go around telling people you don't believe in that? And it's like, no, we're not telling you that we don't believe in that. We just don't believe in the stories of the Bible, and we don't believe that your God is even possible or is the one that actually exists. I'm saying in general, most atheists would say they don't know whether a God exists or not, but they just don't believe in your particular version of God.
It's funny that y'all run the shit that's controversial, that you can't believe in. But what's in there that's founded, that's a stick?
Not to really shit on any pot smokers out there or anything like that, but I could have sworn that he picked up his bong to take a hit while he was on camera, and then he kept on talking and forgot that he wanted to take a hit. I think that's a very plausible situation.
Thou shalt not murder, the homosexuality, your dietary law, things that it ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. What's up with that, atheist? You can see that. You're always talking about something else, so it's real easy. It's just the hatred for God.
Apparently, he's complaining about the fact that we have problems with the dietary laws and the fact that God doesn't like gay people. So he's complaining about those things that we can see perfectly fine, but yet now he's asking, or he's telling us that we just hate God. So we hate God by not buying the bullshit that's in the Bible. And this is called a non sequitur because those 2 arguments do not logically flow whatsoever. He's got no connecting, supporting evidence that suggests that because of that one thing, that means that we hate his God.
That's it. It's a hatred for God. It's a hatred for order. Because if there's no order, you can do and say what you want. you can create your own policy.
How is this different from like what Christians have been doing for the past few hundred years, right? More than ever since Christianity was a thing. I mean, when Christianity first started up in the first century, you had several different sects going around. Just because the Pauline sect is the one that won out and that everybody remembers, because the Christians after that point tried to erase everything that all the other Christian sects did, although they did a very poor job of it because we know a lot about these other Christian sects that existed in the first century. Just because that one particular sect won out, and then that particular sect even broke up into multiple different things. So, I mean, to me, it kind of seems like even Christians have their own opinions about what this God is supposed to be telling them, or what this God means by his holy book. So you want to act like you have the absolute truth about what God wants, but in actuality, you don't know shit about what he wants.
And get man to follow your policy. And that's all fine and good until the man that has an idea about certain policy that don't line up with righteousness for everybody, when that particular guy, let's say an atheist, becomes like the leader of the world, and then he have enough might to impose his policy over the freedom that God gave people.
I still don't see how this differs from any Christian that could take office, or any Christian that could exist out there that would impose his own particular version of Christianity on everybody else. I mean, that's exactly what Project Blitz wants to do. Project Blitz is a group of individuals that are fundamentalist Christians that want to push fundamentalist Christian ideals on the nation. They have legislated women's health. They have legislated what you can teach kids in school, like as far as, teaching that Moses was a founding father of the United States. Like, I really don't see a big difference between a Christian doing it and some asshole atheist doing it, with the exception that it's more likely that the atheist would impose a secular thing that's meant to apply to everybody, regardless of what their religion is. So it seems to me like the one that's biased here would definitely be the religious person, although that doesn't rule out the idea that an atheist could be biased himself. I mean, we've seen it in the past with state atheism and other different types of atheist assholes that have been out there before, so it's definitely possible. I'm just saying that I feel like it's more likely for a Christian asshole to get up there and impose his religion on the entire nation.
That's what soulless people kind of like atheists do. See, if you're not dealing from a perspective of people count, which like atheists are, and if you believe in people or you think people's lives count, they don't have anything to do with atheists. That's God.
No, you don't have to believe in God in order to think that people's lives count. In fact, after a person is born, Christian politicians generally don't give a shit about you. They especially don't give a shit about the kids that are born, especially when like Donald Trump cut the free lunch programs like more than half, so that there's even less kids out there being able to get lunch at schools. Also that he could pay for his fucking xenophobic wall.
God gave people value, worth. That's not you. That's not me. Because we kill, we steal, we rape and rob in a second. It's a conflict every day of our lives.
Christians steal, rape, and rob all the time. You're still not showing me the difference between a Christian and an atheist in this particular viewpoint, right? Can an atheist do those things? Yeah, sure. A Christian can do those things. A Muslim can do those things. Anybody can do those things. It's not like Christians out there are just perfectly adhering to whatever you think God tells you to do. There are Christians out there that rationalize raping women and small children as what God wants them to do. So you're really not showing how Christians are better than atheists. Also, I resent the whole atheists are soulless. One thing, everybody's soulless. Nobody has a soul. A soul's a made-up thing. Two, even if we did have souls, atheists would still have souls.
Somebody piss you off in traffic, you might call them a motherfucker or something, but in that moment, you would have killed him. The God in you, your creator, his hand on you, even in that moment, stop you from doing it. For some of us, we go right along with it.
So, God stops people from killing motherfuckers when we get mad. Like, when I get mad, God stops me from killing somebody. What does that mean for people that actually kill other people? Are they just atheists and they don't know it? Is that what it is? Or was God busy? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he was probably busy helping somebody with a football game, and he was like, oh shit, I forgot about this one guy that went and shot up all these people. Like, I mean, I don't know. This just really doesn't make any kind of sense. Although I wonder if he thinks that homosexuality would be hurting other people. Does he think homosexuality is a religion because homosexuals have a label that's applied to them? Does he think that there's a homosexual Bible? Yes, that Bible would be fabulous. You're right, honey.
But in any case, the restraint or the struggle to kill somebody in that moment, that come from God, because it went off in you like that. Atheists can't explain nothing like that.
Yes, I actually can. I can explain why we are restrained from killing somebody. I do not possess it in me as a person to just go out and randomly kill somebody if they make me mad. Like, I'm just not going to do that. But also, it's a psychological thing. People that have mental disorders like sociopathy and psychopathy, they don't have that kind of restraint, right? I don't feel the need to kill somebody. Like, restraint and the will not to kill another person is not dependent on a God. And this is just another version of the whole argument that we all know that God exists, so therefore atheists just simply cannot exist because God has written the law in our hearts. But the problem is with this type of moral argument that he's playing at here is that you can't solidly say that morals come from God. For one thing, you have a specific definition of God. Your Bible lays out that definition, and apparently you've read part of it. You can't say that morality comes from your God when every other religion claims that same thing, that their God is the one that dictates how people should behave. When in reality, it's the society that we live in that lays down our common moral foundation, and then everybody's moral foundation changes as they grow up, as they experience new things. So you're trying to act like there's some kind of absolute system in place that prevents people from killing other people, but yet I'm guessing that you blame like any murders that happen on atheists. Like, are atheists the only ones that murder people? I don't know. This just seems pretty far-fetched.
That's why I don't believe in them.
Oh shit, that's why you don't believe in people, because God stops people from murdering other people, apparently. Oh God, this is such a bad video. That's all. That's the end of his video. Thank you, heathens, for joining me tonight. That was all of it. Let me know down in the comments why you might agree with him or why you might disagree with him. I'd love to know your thoughts on his arguments that he's presented here. Let me know what you think about what he said tonight. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe before you head on out and smash that like button. It helps get this video in front of other people that may need to hear it. So definitely smash that like button. But if you're leaving out, I hope that you guys will stand up and use your voice. Bye, heathens.